everyone, I'm Kathryn and welcome to Back to Healthy. Today I want to discuss body positivity. I recognize that for people out there, this is a movement that has helped them. I think if something can help you, then it is good. However, there are lots of messages that seem to be hidden within this movement that I just don't agree with, and I think overall the movement is destructive. So if I come across as being harsh or angry, it's not directed at a specific person, it's directed solely at a message within a movement. If you're someone and we don't agree, that's okay. Rant about it in the comments below, because while I don't particularly like the body positivity movement, I would be interested to hear back from people who have a more positive experience within the movement or that it's helped them. Because from my perspective, I don't see it. So before we begin, I think it's important to discuss the history of the body positivity movement, because it started in 1850 with the goal of reforming Victorian dress, which I think that's really interesting that there were women even back in that time that were saying that, hey, there's all this medical research that has shown that tight lacing corsets is not good for your health. Maybe we shouldn't do it. While that is interesting, I think overall they failed, because the only reason why corsets fell out of fashion was because steel was rationed during World War I, and corsets were replaced by girdles, which then in turn fell out of fashion during World War II when there is a ration on nylon. I think in terms of movements, they really don't have much effect on our culture as a whole. I think that message within the movement is really important because unfortunately, if you look throughout history, not much has changed. And I would say with the advent of media and marketing, it seems to have only gotten worse. If you look at advertisement in the 50s and 60s, it was all drawn and the people in it were made to be the most physically fit and perfect people. And while they were based off of real people, those people didn't look like the pictures that were drawn. And it's the same for photographs today. The people in the pictures exist, except all the photos and everything everywhere is photoshopped to make them look the perfect, most desirable version of themselves, but that person on the cover it's not real. And I think it would be interesting if we could get to a point in our society where we didn't do that. Where, we could celebrate somebody whose skin isn't perfectly soft and whose skin actually has pores. I think that would be a good route to go down, and that is part of the body positivity movement, that we should appreciate real bodies, not the fake stuff that's portrayed in the media and in advertisement. So that I agree with. I've also seen a focus on mental health, and I think that's really important because far too many people sort of ignore their problems and internalize them, and that doesn't help anybody. Just take care of yourself. However, the line that I drew is that I don't really see how this movement is moving us forward or really adding anything to the conversation, because it's still focusing on our physical appearance. So for context, if you don't know, I'm an American, but I live in Belgium. Belgium is a society where good eating and fitness is really encouraged. That's something I don't see in America. Recently, I went back home and I was genuinely culture shocked just to see how many fat people there were. And I'm not saying that there aren't fat people in Belgium or in Europe as a whole, because there are. However, there's a distinctive difference between fat people over here and then fat people back home. There is a problem back home, and the body positivity movement seems to want to ignore that problem and for people to just say, oh no, we have to love everybody, no matter what size they are, no matter if they're morbidly obese, if they're a little overweight, we have to love them. And I would agree with that. We should all be respectful. We should all love each other. We should all be kinder to one another. However, I don't see the kindness in enabling somebody who has a problem. In all honesty, I don't want to be that person who would just look away and ignore it and be like, oh no, you're perfect just the way you are. Perfection is not obtainable. The best that we can do as people is to constantly move forward, constantly challenge ourselves. And I don't think that's an easy task. I am medically obese. Via my BMI and my height to waist ratio, I am 30% fat. That makes me obese. And I know how I got here. I got here because I eat too much and I don't move. I am a sloth. I have been lazy. I have not made health my priority. I don't look at that as a good thing because it's not. However, I'm also not going to sit here and beat myself up over things that happened in the past that I can't change. The only thing that I can do now is move forward and take my health in my own hands and be the healthiest version of me. I really wish that there was a movement of finding the healthiest version of yourself. A movement that would teach people about food, how to cook, how to appreciate it, how to make healthier choices. A movement that focused not on losing weight, but on general fitness. At my heaviest, I weighed 232 pounds. And then I went on a diet and I did exercise and I got down to about 135. Now in my life, the thing that I miss most isn't the fact that I weighed 135 pounds or the fact that I could fit into smaller clothes. It's how much stronger I was. I'm doing things that I used to do back in my early 20s and I can't do them. They are so difficult. I remember being able to hold a plank for 3 minutes and I start shaking after 5 seconds. It's insane. There are yoga poses that I used to be able to hold and do effortlessly that it takes everything I have to be able to do them. And I hate that I am physically weak. And so at least for me, body positivity would overall be a better movement if it would encourage activity and fitness and better eating habits. But the way I see it, it just seems like a gimmick, like a modern marketing demographic. That's what it is. It's a group of people that can be sold these self-help, positive thinking materials, and it makes me sad. It really does. What do you guys think of the body positive movement? Is it something you've never heard of? Is it something you think is really good and it's been a positive influence in your life? Or is it something it's just not for you so you ignore it? Or something other? Tell me in the comments below. I make videos every Wednesday, so be sure to come back and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye! Oh yeah guys, by the way, I have a blog where I continue the conversation with some thoughts that I didn't put in the video, so you should check it out. It's in the description below. And hey, if you want, also consider sharing this video with your friends, families, and neighbors because yeah, it helps me. I can't talk. Yeah, it's there. Click it.